Okay, looks like we're live. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Madcore Hunter podcast. You got me and Danny again this week. We're gonna, as you can see, my closet's open behind me. I'm getting geared up. I'm getting ready to leave. I'm less than a week out to go to Utah. Danny, I know it's right around the corner for you. I think you said you're heading out the same time I'm coming back, so you're about 10 days behind me. And
Yeah, I gotta work until September 10th.
yeah,
So I'll be doing some kind of elk hunting after the 18th at somewhere. I don't know. I may be helping people for a little bit and trying to get out that next week during the week to do my own elk hunting, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be too particular about it with the general tag. I think I'm gonna go in with the purpose to fill my tag and get done so I can help. I've got some guys that's got premier elk areas that I would like a chance to just be with them and help them.
yeah, well, that's important. Yeah, so Utah's season ends the 17th, so right when we're packing up, you'll be thinking about going. And
Yeah. I'd got a picture the other day of like somebody's camp all flooded in Utah.
really,
Yeah. Like, so I guess they were getting some rain. I don't know what part Zach sent that to me. That wondering if you guys had seen it. But yeah, the guy had like a wall tent up and flooding all around the dang tent in the
there's
valley.
usually there is a lot of water in Utah where we go usually. So maybe it's snow melt. I talked to a buddy. He's going to Idaho, and he says it's 90 out there. So hopefully we can have a little higher elevation in Utah, but hopefully it's not that hot.
Hey, I did get a little news today. Our buddy Jimmy is out in Wyoming and he filled his tag last night.
Dad told me too. Yeah, he killed
Yeah.
a bull, from my understanding.
Yeah. He got a raghorn. He said they wasn't talking very much, which I've heard some mixed reviews on that, but he said he wasn't hearing any bugling and he started setting water and had some encounters with cow calves, I think for the last couple days, prior. And then last night, I don't know. It sounded like he'd sat on water for 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon, and this bull come in and he got a shot on it. I think it only ran about 30 yards, but he said went down and said it took him 3 trips by himself to get it out. He said it was, probably at least a 2 or 3 year old bull anyway, because he said it had pretty good size body wise.
That's
So
good, man.
he had got his butt kicked a little bit today. I think he'd made 2 trips, and I'm pretty sure where he killed that. I wanted to say it was close to 3 miles, each direction, but it may have. He said 8.5 miles today is what he'd done. And he made 2 trips today. So
Yeah. Well, shout out to Jimmy, man. First team Madcore to strike, right? Nobody else has anybody else killed? I guess to kind of start the fall.
I may have put down a coyote here in North Dakota over the weekend.
Okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
got a
So
coyote.
yeah.
That's a good.
But yes, first big game animal for sure.
All right, on. Well, congratulations to Jimmy. And
He's
as I was thinking about, I'm getting ready to head out. I'm like 5 days out. I'm like, man, what's a good podcast? And I'm like, I go through this gear list every year, and it's probably I update it every year, and it's probably this is the fourth or fifth year of me doing it. I literally just try to label it and like put everything out there that I can, so I don't forget anything. And I print it off and I'll check mark it and I'll give one to Dad too, because a lot of our stuff, like I put specific like names and such, but he has similar setup to me, so it helps him. And I can't take too much credit for this. I saw John Barklow. He posts these on his Instagram, the guy for Sitka, and he'll do like archery, elk, gear list. And that's where I got the idea. So I'm like, that's a really good idea. So I thought we could go through that. So if you're into gear and like what we're using, I think you're going to kind of do like a pack dump. I'm literally like going to go through everything that I kind of take. I might forget something, but that was my idea for it.
sounds good, man. I think we can jump right into it. I'm not as structured, of course, as you are there, but I also hunt in the state that I live in. I do have to travel, 3.5, 4 hours where I elk hunt, but I don't know. I'm really bad about I take everything that I
Yeah.
want. Like
Well,
I have it all with me and my backpack changes. I got the main stuff that I carry every day, but as the week goes on, I seem to lighten up as much as possible and get rid of crap I'm not using because you end up taking more stuff than you ever need, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'll try not to bore you. I'll try to like maybe, hone in on some of the things I think that are important, but this is Utah specific. So I guess you were saying, your home state. And like when we come out to Wyoming, obviously it's hotter there because it's not as high elevation. So some of this is going to be, which I still take everything because you never know what you're going to run into. But at the top here, I got Utah elk hunt gear list for 2025. So the first thing, the most important thing, guys, you have to have a license. So I have it labeled license and where to call, and you can call and order the license, or you can go on the website and you can do it that way. I've got the wildlife biologist's number here. Also, if you get a license from Utah, and a lot of other states are like this too, they have to mail it to you. You have to have a physical copy from them. You can't just print it off or have something on your cell phone. That's how it is
Yeah.
in Wyoming too, correct?
Yeah, when you put in for the draw, that it's a bigger license. It's a different style paper that they produce and send to you, and so got the cutouts. Of course,
That's
like
how
my
this is.
general license, when I don't draw, I'll just go like when I get home, I'll go to them and I'll buy every tag that I can because usually when I'm going elk hunting, I've got my elk, general deer, bear, mountain lion. I have bought what I can in Wyoming for lifetime. You have to live there as a resident for 10 years before you can buy any lifetime. And all they offer is like there's a conservation stamp you have to buy every year. And they offer that. I've got lifetime conservation, fishing, and then I can get like my small game and birds so I can shoot grouse and stuff while we're elk hunting. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I had to live there for 10 years before you could even get that. And that's all they
That's
offer for
interesting.
lifetime. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so they have to send you the license. Also have the price here, which it actually changed this year. I believe it's just south of 800 after everything. I think I said the wildlife biologist, the success rate for the area we go to is 8.6% is what we were told. I do have a bear tag. I always look up the state we're going to, how much a bear tag is. I think a bear tag in Colorado is only $100, but for Utah it's 350, and I've never seen a bear out there, so I haven't bought one.
Yeah. Jimmy Jimmy also bought a lot of these states you can buy that bear license over the counter.
Yeah,
Jimmy's
that's how
got one
this
down there in
is.
Wyoming. That's what he's doing now that he's done with elk, and he threw a camera out on a spot that we've had some bear come through before and already got a bear on camera. So I think there's a good chance for that.
I think Wyoming is a little bit cheaper too. Aren't they like 250 for a tag
Yeah, I
out of
don't think it
state?
was bad. I don't know offhand, but
Okay.
it's only around it's around that $300 or something, I think.
Then I have labeled essentials. This is just right at the top. So we take cash. I like to have a lot of cash for processors, this and that. Cash is king, in my opinion. You don't want to forget your phone, your license again, wallet, your bow, inReach Mini 2. So like those are just the things I just put right out there that I can't, if somehow you got to freaking Nebraska and didn't have your wallet, that would suck. Anyways, going on to weapon system. I'll just kind of go through this. I don't think there's anything to name off. I mean, I got the Hoyt RX-7 Ultra, shooting the Victor HLRs. I even go like my spine and this and that. I'm shooting the Sever Hybrid 2.0s, the Hybrid 2.0s, sorry. 125 grain, which you shoot 125 too. Bow sight, CB Trek Pro, Air Rest, the QAD Max 2, Spot Hog release, Quivalizer, Hoyt Go sticks, bow case, extra arrows. I bring an arm guard just in case, like it's real cold and I'm having to have like a heavy jacket on or something. Sometimes I'll have an arm guard for backup, and then sometimes we'll bring for the truck like a carry pistol or something, like a personal protective.
Are you guys bringing do you bring an extra bow or no?
Yes, and I don't know if I added that to extra arrows bow case.
Do you
Yeah,
bring an extra bow per person on the trip or just for one to share between you and your dad or what?
So I bring my old carbon matrix. I never did sell it. So I bring an extra bow for me, and I still shoot it periodically. Dad, he's kind of screwed if he doesn't. I guess if he had
I
to, he
guess
could try to pull left-handed. I can shoot dads out to like 30 yards if I had to.
I was gonna
I
say, I
can't.
guess that doesn't work so well with you guys being
Yeah,
left-handed or right-handed.
I'm left-handed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't bring one. Even before I had a backup bow, I've got a recurve that breaks down, and I brought the recurve because, like, man, you travel all the way out there, and like if you can get an elk within 15 yards, like I'd rather have a recurve than nothing. So crazy things can happen. So yeah, I do bring an extra bow. Some people don't have that luxury, but that's a good point. Thank you.
How many arrows are you bringing?
I've got 11 HLRs left, and then I've even got some RIP TKOs that would still shoot pretty good. And then with my spare bow, I'll probably just bring a quiver full just in case, maybe some extras for that. But I got plenty of arrows. I feel like at least probably let's just say 2 dozen altogether. And then after that, I go to clothing system. So right off the bat, I kind of start with just socks and underwear. And then I get specific. I like the 9-inch Under Armour underwear. I'm running kind of low on those, and I found another company. It's like an Amazon special. They're called Devop, and I really like those. Like I run a lot. Like chafing's, I mean, it's a big deal. I bring some salty britches just in case. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like that chafing
I've
cream
heard
or
that
whatever.
name. Yeah, I
But
know as far as underwear, like I like I think I mentioned this before, the woolly. It's
okay,
a
you like woolly,
like a performance wool, and man,
like
I love
smart
them.
wool? Is it like smart wool? I've heard of smart wool.
I mean, it's a version of that, I guess. It's like 97% wool, and
Merino wool.
they do really well for warm weather
Okay.
and all the time. They are comfortable. It's what I use all the time actually.
Okay. Like, yeah, when I did my race, I had Under Armour underwear. It didn't bug me at all. So socks, I run Darn Tough socks. If you ever heard of them, they have lifetime warranty. They're like $23 a pair, but like you shouldn't ever have to buy any more. Like they will cover the lifetime loans they're still in. I bring like a lightweight and a midweight. I even bring some heavier wool socks just in case, but I like a midweight for like a cooler morning. Midweight seems to help with blisters or any, kind of wear on your feet. There's just a little bit more cushion. So they're called the light hiker, and the midweight hiker is the Darn Tough socks I wear.
Yeah, I got some Darn Toughs, and then also I like Farm to Fleet has got some nice light hunting or hiking, whichever one you prefer. I mean, that's kind of to each person, but I like to have those with a lot of wool in them also.
Yeah.
So if your feet are sweating, you definitely want that. And
Yeah.
most people do have sweaty feet when it comes to hiking in the mountains.
Oh yeah. Like Darn Tough's merino wool for anybody that doesn't know. Then I kind of start with my base layers. Man, I can't even remember the name, but First Light has a nice, I think it's 145 Ultra Merino base layer, top and bottom. So I've got those. Those have been tried and true. This year I did add Kuyu's 145 Ultra Merino, and then they have a zip off base layer. I found last year that it would have been really nice to have a base layer in the morning and then just to zip it right off once you start hiking, kind of that mid morning afternoon.
I
So
have I have First Lights zip off. It's the kiln. And I don't
I
know if
think
those
that's
are
what I
in
have.
like the 150s, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're like my go-to pretty much all the time now.
Yeah. I've had the First Light for a while. I will say First Light has good merino base layers. They fit a little bit more like I'm athletic build. They fit more athletically for me than the KU does.
And I've also got to using as my base layer or top base layer is their kiln 150, the Arrow Light, called the Wick 150, I think is number on it, but it's been pretty awesome. I wear it. It's usually like right now it's so hot here. It's my main layer. That's what I'm wearing on the out.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking here. The next thing I bring is the KUYU Tiburon long sleeves. So these have like a collar and they have a nice quarter zip. It might even be more. And it is the best. Like it's pretty durable and like lightweight type long sleeve. So definitely for Wyoming, it's the go-to because, you're keeping your body protected. It has some durability, but they're super light. I like a collar for my bino harness so it doesn't dig into my neck. And then you got that protection of a long sleeve. So, and
Yeah, that
then
I've got
go ahead.
a lot of times in the Elkwoods, mine's gonna be their Fanatic hoodie. It's a little heavy. Sometimes I wear some other stuff, like they've got Sika's got a lightweight, what they call the lightweight hoodie. Almost always have hoodies. I don't like shirts that don't even that wick that I was talking about, the Aerolite, it's a hoodie. So I wear it out in the sun. I can cover my ears if I need to with it just to get wind or sun off a little bit. And they've got some other lightweight if you don't want to go the like wool and you want to go the synthetic route. And that stuff's good too. I don't know. I've become a fan of wearing the wool as far as base layers next to skin layers.
Yeah, I would say the 145 Merino and the Tiburon, I go back and forth next to skin based on how hot it's going to get. But traditionally, I'll do like the Merino base layer next to skin. Then I'll do the KUYU Guide vest. I really like a vest. I don't like hoodies except for one. I don't like multiple hoodies because it gets bunched up. And then I'll do the KUYU Strong Fleece 260, which is a hoodie and it's kind of a heavier hoodie. And then based on that, I've got the KUYU Guide jacket that I bring. It's kind of water resistant, windproof type.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
works
look
good for
at
me.
it, but man, I bought one other piece I got from First Light is they got this wool hoodie and I fell in love with it last year, especially whitetail because it's warm. It and it's warm when it's wet, and it also is it's just comfortable as can be, and as quiet as can be. I started wearing that a lot, like my outer layer when it's not extremely cold, and I wear it under stuff. But that coat that you mentioned is a real good coat from KUYU. Um, I use my go to as a Jetstream from Sika. It's pretty
That's
much
a good jacket.
I love it. I've got multiple. I mean, I wear it as a regular jacket during the winter and stuff too, but I've got it in multiple camo and I it's got the pit zips on it, so you can open that up and release heat. And that's pretty much I'm gonna have that base layer, a Fanatic or the lightweight hoodie on, and a Jetstream, and that's gonna be mostly what I hunt with. If it's gonna get into some cold, I've got some different vests that are like that. I forget the name of those.
Puffy vest?
What's that?
It's like a puffy vest.
Probably a step under a puffy, I guess. It's got some of that same style material, but it's a little less thick than a puffy, I guess you would say. But it's some Sika version. I don't wear it a
Okay.
ton, you know, but if I need a little bit more warmth and don't want it on my arms, that's what I'm wearing as vest for sure.
Okay. And then going to pants, the pants I'm running, which I bring some, I'm just highlighting the stuff that it's going to like first on deck, is the KUYU Tiburon pant. Is probably what I'll walk back in there with because you're walking and moving the whole time. And I really like to hunt in the Katana and the Attack pant. That's kind of KUYU's signature pants. Attack has a little bit more weight to it. They fit me really good. And I think with that Merino 145 right underneath of it and then that pant, it's going to be a really good combination this year. And
Do
I
you
do have I have the Sitka mountain pant too that I bring, but I don't know, that KUYU pants really fit me good.
Do you feel like those attack pants are a little warm?
They have where you can dump heat. I mean, I wouldn't want to hunt where we do in Wyoming with that full time. I would go more towards the Kutana or Tiburon. But if you're in a place where there's a morning chill and it doesn't get like where you're sweating your balls off in the afternoon, I think it's a really good versatile pant.
Yeah, I bought it. I've got that attack from KUYU, and It was a pretty I liked it pretty well, and even Sick has got that. Some of these, man, you got your phone in your pocket, you'll pick up moisture on your screen if you're wearing that and producing a lot of heat. I seen it definitely like pheasant hunting and stuff in that attack pant. And I had some First Light pants I was trying, but for the most part, I'm wearing the Sitka mountain pant I really like, but where we hunt is so thick that I have tore those up. And my go-to, if it's chilly, if I can stand it, I'm wearing the Timberline from Sitka. They got the Kevlar knees and the Kevlar butt pad on them, and
Yeah.
they are last year. I'll tell a pretty funny story. Is we hiked in like 4 miles, me and Dad, and it's one of those days that it had to get approach 90 degrees coming out of there, and like I could have shot a cow, and I'm looking at Dad giving it like thumbs up, thumbs down if I want to shoot this because we're 4 miles, no horses, just me and him, and everybody's gone. And I drew back on the thing and I was like, no, because there is no cover. We were out in the open and it was packing that thing out for 4 miles and so hot. But I was so warm in those Timberline pants. I was like, I don't care what you think of me. I am taking my pants off. And I did. I walked out in those woolly pair. And dad
Yeah.
actually cut down. He had some cheaper, older camouflage that was all tore up. And he's like, he cut them down the shorts for that walkout.
Well, dude, I've got some Badlands pants, and that's actually what I killed in last year, and they're just a little bit, I'd say just a touch thicker than the Attack. And like based on the weather in Utah, that's what I needed last year, if that tells you anything. And they're tough as nails. So I'll be taking those too. Like I'm not sponsored. Like I probably prefer KU, but a lot of this other stuff works too. Each company has their own niche, and it's all good stuff. Like I've got a little bit of everything. Like I've got some Cryptek. I don't like my Cryptek pants because the knees are waterproof for pads and my knees sweat. Like it annoys the crap out of me. Like they're a
Yeah.
lightweight pant, but the knees are waterproof, so your knees sweat. So
Yeah.
not big on that.
You got to try a lot of that stuff. And it's so hard because all of that's expensive. But to be honest, all these companies are getting, you know, KUIU and Sicker at the top and First Light. But these other companies are catching up for lesser price. They
Yeah.
got some really similar stuff. So, I mean, a lot of that you probably can't go wrong with what you pick.
No, yeah.
And I really have become a fan of the Timberline. It's just days like that they're a little too warm. And, Sika's got some other lighter stuff that I'm drawing a blank on what the name was. The mountain pant I wore for 3 or 4 years in a row, that was one of my favorites for a
That's a
long
good
time.
pant. They got the built-in knee pads. That was good for antelope because we're
Do
on
you
our knees a lot.
do you use the KUIU, like, with knee pads or what?
No, I think they don't have I don't really like knee pads elk hunting. I've not seen where I need them.
I love them being in there. I mean, yeah, they look stupid and it sounds stupid, but if you gotta be on your knees for a setup or anything, it's amazing having just a little bit of padding there.
Yeah, they worked good when we were antelope hunting. What are
I
you
also
running for a rain set? I got the Cryptek Jupiter rain set, like packable rain gear. Are you running Sitka?
I own a bunch of expensive gear that I don't ever use except maybe once every 2 or 3 years. I have never hit much rain in Wyoming. I know I can think of one time in 20 years of you guys coming out that your dad, Davey, and I don't remember if it was Bill or Tony that was there then. They ran into a week where it rained 3, 4, 5 days just straight, and they were
I was
soaked the whole
there.
time. Oh, you were
Well,
there on
dude,
that one.
I will say this in Utah, I would advise you if you ever come with us. Like some guides have said, like they won't let you. Like we ran into one. He's like, "Well, I don't want my guys to go back there without rain gear." Like the weather comes in so fast out there,
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
I would
ridiculous.
say I'm really bad about starting out heavy with, stuff. I will start out with rain gear. I've got a real packable set from I don't know the name of it, but it is the lightest weight stuff I've got. The pants completely zip down the sides. So they're easy on, easy off, and they're from KUIU. It was a set I caught on sale. They don't even make
Kutana,
this stuff. But was
I
it? Do
think it's
they even make that anymore?
I'd say, yeah, that's their lightweight set. That's pretty expensive, but the Cryptek, it gets down pretty, probably 2 softball size
And
each.
I got a heavy duty set, like it's one of the better rain gear that Sitka has in bibs and a jacket. Got that in subalpine. I've used it a couple times. One of the times I can remember it was a straight up blizzard, and I just didn't want to get it was really cold and straight up blizzard, and I didn't want to get wet, and I didn't have to walk too far on that one. So I wore that rain gear in the snow, and then I put it on last year and hunted in it because the lightweight stuff, you don't want to be walking through brush with it because you're going to rip that stuff up. That Kuiu set I got. The
Yeah.
sickest stuff is more something like I would take with me to go to Alaska,
The one thing I'll say, it's hard for me not to have it in my pack is my rain this is Utah, of course, is my rain gear and my Kuiu Super Down Ultra pant and jacket. So that's their down,
Yeah.
it's real lightweight. But it's not that heavy. And my thought, man, like if somebody breaks a leg and we got to spend it out on the mountain, like that puffy could save your life. Even rain gear is warm, because it has that barrier. So a lot of times those do not leave my pack. Like I'm in pretty good shape. I'll carry the extra couple, like pound or two.
Yeah, I mean, some of this gear list, I'm kind of throwing in my stuff as you're talking about it, just to keep talking about the same stuff here. But mine would change a little bit if I had my animals. Like that's
Yeah.
where I would put my puffy would be on the horse because I feel like I can get back to my horse, if I need it. And
Yeah.
the other thing that we probably need to talk about when you're riding an animal in every day, you got to have way warmer clothes than somebody walking.
Yeah, a lot of times I
Absolutely.
have my guide jacket on my animal, but I still like to keep my rain set and my puppy set in my pack. Now, dad and sometimes I'm the same, we will drop our rain gear in our saddlebags or something, but I like to have stuff on me because we get away from those animals. I mean, sometimes we're, 2, 3 miles away from them.
Yeah, and
And
and I will say that about like the Jetstream. It's got a good rain coating on it. It's not technically waterproof with it. It's got that DWR or something, I think is what it's called. And you can handle quite a bit of moisture there. So, I mean, if you hit a rainstorm, as long as you can get it tucked under, a pine or some kind of evergreen, you can get out of it and stay fairly dry with it.
that's how that guide jacket is. So that's kind of the core. Now I'm gonna run the KU guide gloves, at least for riding. They kind of have like I think it's a goat type leather. They're real grippy, and KU's guide is like a very tough type, their line. So I'm gonna ride in those, maybe hunting them a little bit. I've also got some Under Armour like base layer gloves. They're like real tight to skin in case I need like an extra layer. Cause I don't bring like real big gloves, especially for archery. I don't want like big, massive gloves. And then believe it or not, Huntworth has pretty good gloves
Yeah,
that
I
will
got some
run.
of their stuff for sure. I'm not real good with the whole glove topic because
Li- Little
I
man, he's learned to open the door.
cool. He wanted to be on the podcast,
He made his
his
debut.
debut. Yeah, I'm not real good on the gloves because I don't hardly ever wear them. It has to be really cold for me to wear gloves. And when I'm riding in, uh, I'd be having probably a set of leather gloves on. My dad always does that. So I've started doing that. I don't hunt with gloves very often. I got some like Stratus, some lighter weight stuff that maybe put on my bow hand, but the thing about like all the hoodies and stuff that I wear, they've got where that collar comes all the
Yeah,
way up to your fingers and your thumb sticks out. And I used to hate them. I thought it was so dumb, but now I love them because I don't wear
really.
gloves. Yeah. So my fingers
Okay,
are completely exposed. I wear them. And in the Fanatic, particularly, like they are, they got like a mitt. You can roll it out and cover your fingers. So I won't have gloves on until it's got to be cold in November for the most part for me to be wearing the gloves while hunting. I just don't have them
really.
on very often. I make fun of Zach all the time because he's always got gloves.
I get cold hands, man. I'm gonna have the guide gloves for kind of riding and doing stuff, and then I've got KU has like real lightweight merino gloves that I'll usually have just for walking out or something. and then like a lightweight beanie. Like the beanie's so lightweight you can just put it on and still put your hat, like your ball cap over it. And then I like a
Yeah,
gaiter, man. I like something here, and then if it's dusty on the trail, you can bring that up over your nose
that's
and
the
keep the dust from getting in.
That's the other thing with, like, the Fanatic particular, it's got the hood, it's got the neck gaiter portion, and it will fold up over so you can get it all the way up over your nose, and it has, like, an inner hoodie in that face mask, so it's tight around here, but the hood's not. So, it's a really versatile shirt that I like, and I guess I was saying I didn't wear gloves. I did start wearing those First Light. They got the wool gloves that just come up to like your first knuckle on your fingers all the way around.
Yeah,
I
I
did
upped went
start
hunting something
wearing
like
those,
that.
and that could get me even farther without having to put a full glove.
Okay. And then Kuiu has like a real lightweight belt, so I wear a Kuiu belt. And then obviously the Madcore hats. We even have a Madcore beanie, but that beanie's like for real cold weather. I can't really bow hunt that beanie.
It's warm. I do really
Yeah.
like that one.
And then for all my clothes, I carry them in a tote. Like it's easy to move around in a trailer. It's easy for stacking. Obviously not to the backcountry, but like on our way out there, I put all my clothes in a tote.
Yeah, I'm so back and forth. I've been fighting with it here early season. Like I've switched to clear totes so that I can see what's in there. And I try to be organized and separate it, but it's hard to separate your light from your warm. I've got it separated from Sika to Kuya and First Light. I've got a whole bunch of the bags that are marked. So I'm back and forth between the bags take up a lot less room, but I also like being able to see it through the clear tote. It
Yeah.
depends what I'm doing. I've kind of got a mix of the two right now. Like I like even up here whitetail hunting, I've thrown in my bag with my rain gear just in case something happened. It's in my truck.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just what I do. I know what you mean though. Moving on to footwear, and we just did a podcast over this. I've added on to my boots. I went to Sierra store, which is owned by TJ Maxx, but it's this like camping discount store. I loved it. I could spend hours in there. And they had a pair of Solomon Quest 4 GTXs for like 89 bucks in size 13. And you and dad were bragging them up, man. So I'm like, I'm buying them. I mean, if all else, I'll just work around the house in them. Dude, I really like them. I
Yeah,
ran them in Indian Attack. I ran them. They're an athletic boot. They're very grippy. I think for archery, I think I'm gonna at least start out in them for a lot of walking. I've broke them in. There's not a big break-in process. They're kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Not a lazy person's boot, but they don't take a lot of break-in process. They're kind of ready. They're ready out the gate, I feel like.
yeah. I mean, I just bought a set of those. I was definitely bragging about Solomon's. That wasn't the boot I had. Zach had a set. Your dad had a set. But what gets me, that boot is $275. I ordered a pair. Okay. And then you tell me that you buy a dang pair for 89 bucks or something. And Zach had got his on a big sale. I'm like, man, I was so frustrated. I get the boots and we're driving to go scouting. And Zach's looking on his phone and he's like, hey, I think it was Midway USA. They had those boots for 130 bucks. Somebody had bought it, tried them on, and sent them back. So I did.
Yeah.
I sent the pair I paid 280 for back, bought a second pair of them, and I ended up getting them for like 130, I think 125 somewhere in there. And
Yeah.
they're not real high end or anything, but man, they're comfortable. I will say the first time I put them on, go out, no gator on, and walk through 3 or 4 foot grass that's wet. And I've tried to explain this before. You get back and your boots wet, and you're like, oh, they leak. That's not leaking. That's water running down your legs. I got those boots soaked the very first time I took them out, and it was from that.
Yeah.
But I can walk through a creek with no problem. But I've been putting them to the test here, and I got several miles on them already, and I'm liking them so far. The one thing I always told you is I have issues with my shoelaces coming untied real bad. And I think it's because like I got big, long feet. My ankles are skinnier, I guess you would say, and big calves. So I think that's one of the reasons that comes untied. Those boots have a latching system right in the middle, so the string can't back out. and my boots are not coming untied with those. They're working great.
I think they're pretty good. Dad said that the SEALs run them, maybe. I don't know, some special force. So
Solomon's
I
big
like
in
them.
the military world for sure.
Yeah.
That
So
brand.
I'm gonna run them. I'm back and forth on what boots I'm taking. This and that. The Zomberlins, like I brought up, the 4014, the BOA ones. They're 4 years old, but gosh, they're so comfortable. Like I still wear them. I put trail cams out in them. So I may take those. Definitely the Hanwag Alaskan GTX boots. They're a beefier boot. So if it's colder out there, there's a lot of rocks, that's going to be a good boot for ankle support.
So how
And
many boots
then
you taking with you?
and then the Loa Tibet GTX.
You
I
taking
think
all
right
4
now,
sets?
no. I'm probably going to take 3. I think the Zomberlins I'm going to retire to just stuff around here. And then I'm gonna start out in the Solomons and then have the Hanwogs. The Loas, they don't have as good a rocker in them, but I'm gonna have those at the trailer, I think. So 3 sets, right or wrong, and then I
Yeah,
always take Crocs.
I was looking at my stuff as I usually got, um, a couple pairs. I'll have those Solomons. I'll probably have my Solomons and then wear my short ones that I kind of did last year was around camp, but I'll probably throw my, I took a picture of them, but my Crispies, in with me when I go down.
Yeah.
Just, the only reason I really take more than one is probably going to get my boot wet at some time. If I won't walk
If
up
you
and down
fall
the
in the
dang,
creek or something,
yeah, I won't walk up down the creek with meat on my back for a mile just to avoid some water. I will go through it to get across to where I need to go.
yeah, it's good to have 2 or 3 pairs. So I'm taking 3 and probably 2 to the backcountry. I'll have 1 extra pair when we take our mules back in there. And then I usually take Crocs. You come back in the evening, let your feet air out. Some guys carry Crocs, like in Alaska, when they come to creek crossings, they'll put
For
those on,
crossing.
and they'll roll their pant legs up. We're not dealing with that, but I like Crocs. So that's footwear. The next thing I have is sleep system. I'm just going to start at the bottom here. I upgraded this year to the Zenbivy. Have you heard of Zenbivy?
I've heard of it. I don't have any experience with it.
So it's not quite a quilt, but it's closer to a quilt than a sleeping bag. They come with a sheet and it like hooks on to the sheet. It's a whole system. And I bought their ultralight bundle. It's down, and then there's always an R rating. So I think with the pad goes with it. So it's a whole system. And the pad, I think it's a 4.9 R rating, which is how warm the pad is. And then the down, which this is a goose down. They have a new one called, it's a duck type down, but the goose down is supposedly their higher end. And it's 900 fill, I believe. 900. So that's pretty good. If you go to like REI, you'll see some, like, just because you're getting down doesn't mean you're getting the proper fill and what type of down you're getting. This is supposed to be a Canadian goose treated for water resistance and a pretty good down rating. So it's lightweight. Even though we take the mules, I want to get it as light as possible. So I upgraded to that. I did try it in Pennsylvania. It was around 38 degrees when we were up there, and it kept me warm. So hopefully it's good for colder. It's supposed to be good to 25 degrees, I think. Because
Really?
you don't want to go too cold, and you'll just be burning up all night. So that's a pretty good range to me, because I can always throw my puffy and other clothes on if it gets real cold to keep me warm at night.
Yeah,
And then
I probably won't
go
go
ahead,
into
sorry.
too much to that because your scenario, you're packing in, so you got a little different
Yeah.
setup. I am tent camping along a road somewhere, so I can take whatever I want. I've got a big, like, I think it's a Browning sleeping bag that's it's a real I use one bag. It's a real warm. It's big. It fits me. It's comfortable on a cot, and I got a real big rollout pad. I sleep like I'm in a freaking queen mattress bed, in my
No, yeah.
tent. So I love it, but I just not gonna go into that too deep.
Okay. The next thing is my tent. I went with the Durston X Dome 2-person tent. I also bought the footprint for it, and you have to buy the the guy wire, which is Dyneema guy wire, to be real lightweight. It's a 2-person tent, but if you know anything about tents, 2-person really means 1 person. You can
Yeah.
actually have some room. So that's supposed to be a really good tent. Trying that out. Like I said, I tried it out in Pennsylvania. I bought those around the same time. I didn't want, the first time to be out west. Obviously, I could have done something in my backyard, but wanted to do, where I kind of relied on it when we went to Pennsylvania. It got to 38 degrees. That was a good test, and everything tested out good. And then yeah, we take like little sleeping bags for the trailer and such, and we have an air mattress in the trailer. So like we have our trailer, home base, and then we spike out. And then the meals, I don't want to go into too much detail with there because that's kind of to me, and my freaking computer that I have on the side here just said it's about to die. And then I guess the next thing would be food. So under food, I went with a new stove this year, and I got the MSR switch stove. I don't know if you've looked into stoves too much. Like Jetboil and MSR are kind of like good stoves, like
Yeah, I mean,
backcountry
MSR
stoves.
reactor is a big one. I've got one of those, and I think I have a couple other MSR, but I've pretty much stuck with that MSR brand on anything I bought.
Yeah, MSR is really good.
Reactor? Is that the one you said you got?
Mine's the new switch. It just came out
Okay, I
this
think I
year.
have a MSR React maybe is one that I have too.
Yeah. Dry bags for your food. Yeti 110 cooler. We keep ice in it. We take some food out there. It's good for bringing meat back. We bring 2 Arctic 65 coolers. Dad also has a lifetime 110 coolers. Really, when we both killed last year, most of both of our elks would fit in that Yeti and that lifetime 110. And then whatever was left, we put in the Arctics. And then if you have any other food, you're bringing back. And then just going down, your simple things like paper plates, cups, coffee, LP, fuel, grill, Mountain House meals. I haven't tried them yet. I ordered different freezer dried food this year. I went with Heather's Choice. Have you heard of Heather's Choice?
But yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be a real good brand.
It's supposed to be pretty good, but there's other ones like Mountain House you see at Walmart, Peak Refuel. Do you know? There's probably other ones. I don't know, but freeze dried meals. And then a big one, you got your trail snacks of whatever you like. Just make sure it's somewhat healthy and high in carbs for out there. For lunch food, I usually do like the salmon packets with crackers because, I got something different this year. They're like little bowls of like beans and corn and chicken and this and that are supposed to be maybe a little more filling.
Yeah,
But that's what we do in the back. Now, this is backcountry stuff.
because like if we're like our situation, which you've done this, is if we're truck camping basically, man, we're making meals that we are freezing. We're making like a spaghetti bake or
Yeah.
just different kind of things you can bake enough for everybody that's with your hunting party. And like even if I'm by myself, I'll bake that. I'll cut them up into individual dinners and I will vacuum seal those as a meal. And then all I got to do is heat them up. And that's usually got a microwave and a generator with us, no matter if we're tent camping or whatever to do that. So it's quite a bit different from Eli's situation.
Well, that's for lunch. A lot of times you have to have something, which we used to make ham and cheese sandwiches actually back in the day because we had a cooler. And we still will. Like our first night when we get there with the trailer, we have like my mom usually makes baked spaghetti or something, and we'll have the generator and that. But this is kind of specific to spiking out in the backcountry. You don't
Yeah.
have any electricity.
And like you gotta just figure out what you want for the day because some people require a whole bunch of food. And I mean, you want to stay up on your calories, you can. I'm really big about like I don't eat much. I will eat a little bit when, before especially if we kill, I will try to eat and get my
Yeah.
energy up before we start packing out. But, I'm doing pretty basic stuff, doing jerky. I like peanut butter sandwiches with honey or, peanut butter crackers is something I carry. I like little fruit snacks. I know they're nothing crazy healthy, but
Well, it's
it's a
quick. It's
little,
quick carbs.
yes, it's a
That's what
little
it
burst of
is.
energy. I do almonds, ham sandwich if I want for lunch. And another one that I like, it's sugary and seems weird, but a Capri Sun. a day is something
Yeah.
that can jolt you a little bit. Apples are a good one to carry. They seem to handle being in the bag pretty good. And I might have a water bottle or 2 with me. I carry a 3-liter bladder that's gonna be full of water, but I like having a bottle of some sort with water so that I can maybe have one that has an additive in it a day to get some flavor, or you could use it for like a actual hydration one,
Well,
additive.
me and my supplements and like endurance. So
Yeah.
I usually will have like a electrolyte mix in a bottle with me, and I'll take water from my bladder and I'll pour in there and mix something up around lunchtime or something. But definitely in the evenings, we'll kind of replenish. There's this hydrate and recover, we call it. That's an actual, I think, wilderness athlete actually has that name, but I use hoist, whatever. I mean, everybody knows liquid IV. I think that's kind of, there's a lot better stuff out there. Element's good. Waterboy. Hoist is my favorite. What do you don't eat breakfast, do you? Usually.
No, I do some. I mean, it's so different being at the truck because, like, yeah, I'll make just a casserole that I break up into individual servings, that's got sausage and bacon and eggs in it and stuff, or like even like a biscuit and gravy, like I don't care what I'm eating. I'm eating pretty good food, honestly, when we're at the road. But if I want to be real simple in the morning, it may be a peanut butter and honey sandwich for breakfast or oatmeal. You can always heat up water. I do that some, and I don't have to have a lot to take off in the morning for sure, but it's definitely recommended. If you're in the mountains, you got to keep your calories up if you're
Yeah.
back there and can't come out and have a good meal like
Your
that.
sodium, your hydration, all the above. One thing I will say, this is probably geared more towards me. I put all of my lunches in a pre-packed Ziploc. And that way all I have to do is grab and go. The last thing you want to do when you get back from a hunt is go through all this stuff and like, what do I need tomorrow? This and that. Like, have it all planned. Which with you, hey, you might have to make a sandwich the next day so it doesn't get soggy or this or that.
I
But for me, with everything being having a shelf life, I have individual big Ziplocs. I just grab it from our dry bag that we have hung in the tree, and then what I take off.
I even went to the extent of I was putting all the different snacks that I was eating. I did that even truck camping. It's nice to do before you go down to elk camp to have it to make it simple for each day is I would build a bag for the day. I would take and like I was carrying 2 water bottles, just regular Walmart water bottles in addition to my water bladder, which is my main thing that I'm drinking. Those water bottles were just for the purpose of doing something, some kind of additive to get a little flavor or, hydration or whatever. But, do my whatever you want for snacks in separate baggies. And I even vacuum sealed that stuff. I've done
It's
that
a good idea.
to just make it more
Yeah.
compact in the pack.
So for
So,
water, you've brought up water. So when you go to the backcountry, you can't carry all
yeah.
the water back there. So we camp next to a stream and we have a big platypus, it's called, and it's a gravity filtration system. And I think it's 2 liters. You take creek water, you fill it up kind of high, you hang it in a tree, and it trickles down into a clean bag. We also take like this jug that breaks down, and it's man, I don't. It's not. I think it's like a 2 or 3 gallon jug, and we'll fill that up, and that'll be our filtered water for meals to fill our hydration bladders. We'll go put it on a stump or something, and that's what you fill up with. It has a little spigot on it. So I also carry a little squeeze bottle with me too, just in case you ever got in a bind. I think I use the Cataline Be Free. It's just
Yeah,
a
they
little It's just a little bottle that breaks down. It's like plastic, rubbery type material. It breaks down to like your fist, but you can fill it up, and all you do is squeeze it out. There's a bunch of little filtration. You can drink right out of it or refill some.
Yeah, there's all kind you'd wanna do research on your own to, figure out what's gonna work best for you, but there's all kinds of filtration systems and definitely I mean, I even hunt some spots where, if you're really gonna have a day or something, you might need it. Sometimes I carry some kind of filtration system
Yeah.
with me. I mean, they got the Life straws, those are pretty simple. You put water in that filters right through the straw. So there's a lot of options. You can buy the iodine droplets that you can put right in a deal. I
Yeah.
mean, they don't taste great, they don't filter it, but they make the water safe to drink and they're extremely light. That's what most guys have for emergency, in a pack because there's just a little bitty bottle.
I would recommend something for emergency.
Yeah.
That's pretty small to me, and that's something that would work continuously. You can only carry, I mean, you can carry a lot of the little tablets, but just something to bring up. Do you have anything else with food? I kind of went through, like I said, that we're just lightly covering this stuff. We could do a whole podcast on a lot of these items, but I just wanted to cover this stuff and go through and just show everybody how much stuff it takes and all the thought process and things to think about. Like, you don't need all this stuff, but it does make it easier to have a lot of this.
Man, I mean, I don't know where you are on your list, but, like, I'm not even in the list of what I wrote down yet, and we're approaching an hour, so, I mean, we obviously could do a second podcast on the
Maybe
amount of
we
different
should.
things, and maybe you're right because, I'm just looking at my stuff, like, I made a list of what's in my backpack mostly, so most of this I'm just kinda
I'm
running off of
probably
what you're talking
halfway
about.
through. Like, the next thing I have is equipment, and I've got just my Garmin watch. That's a piece of equipment to me. It tracks my heart rate, and just if I want to track anything back there. For my pack, I run the QU Icon Pro 3600 pack. I think you have the Kafaru,
I got a
which,
Kafaru arc frame with a Striker XL bag. I've ran a Fulcrum for a while. That's more probably suited for something if you were going
yeah.
in for 7 or 10 days camping. I used it a lot, but it was just too big. I liked how it opened up and the external pockets on it, but the Striker XL is fitting me real good now for
I didn't know you
hunting for
upgraded
the.
to the arc frame, man. You dirty
Yeah, I
dog.
did that last year. Yeah.
It just came out last year, right?
Well, I think I told you about that is when Obendorf killed his elk, I had left. He had an arc frame Kafaru because he had just bought it last year, and he left it in case we killed an elk. So that because Michael had a decent pack, but it wasn't a great pack set up for packing straight up quarters or something. And we used it, and I cleaned it at my house and left it outside to dry. One of my wife's dogs got a hold of it and tore a strap up or something. So I drove over to Kafaru since they're a couple hours from the house and got that fixed. And they happened to have the arc there. And I was like, huh. I ended up buying it while I was there.
If I didn't have mules, I would upgrade packs, which Kuyu is a good pack. Don't get me wrong, but I would look at an XL or an arc frame. It's even another one that came out, but those are the two like top end is Kafar and EXO, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, arc, I don't notice a ton of difference. It's weight wise or anything, but I like some of their capability of how they hook up the bag to it now compared to the old frame and stuff. So it's nice. Obviously, that's if you're buying a new one, that's what you're gonna get. So it's a pretty
Okay.
good frame.
All right, this is a big list. I'm just gonna rattle down here. Okay. So this is equipment. So I guess I put mules as their equipment, but I've got saddlebags, pommel bags that goes on the front. I've got a Nikon rangefinder for backup. I run a Sig Sauer rangefinder. I run Nikon binoculars. I think they're 10 by 42. Marsupial bino harness. My headlight upgraded to peaks. Shout out to Dad. Knives, extra blades. I have a Benchmade steep country knife. Also, I have the cutting edge swing blade that I really like. Like, I know it's not, it's no Montana knife, but it works really good. I have a Leatherman on my mule usually just in case for fixing anything. Game bags. I got some. My game bags are Black Obus, and then I think Dad upgraded this year to Go Hunt or something. A lot of them are the same. Paracord. I've got on here generator, AA, AAA batteries, saw, hatchet, platypus water filter, towels. And when I say towels, we have like the micro towels for in the backcountry that dry really fast if you want to take a bath in the creek. Dude wipes, toilet paper, fuel cans, fire starter, first aid kit, snake bite kit, ribbon, lighters, archery box, which has a lot of my just stuff to fix my bow if something happened, extra broadheads, this and that. Decoy, trash bags, native calls by Carlton, Phelps call, Rocky Mountain elk call, Rocky Mountain bugle tube, packable water filter, Maven spotting scope, Zero carbon tripod, MagView spotting scope for phone attachment. And that's what I have under equipment. And I'm probably leaving stuff out. So I just rattled some stuff off
Yeah,
there.
you
Are
did
you?
just burn through that for sure.
Well,
Because
I figured you would like hear something and want to go back to it, but I just wanted to name off all that stuff.
yeah, if I'd have stopped you, man, we'd be here all night because like
I
I
know
don't
we're
even
creeping
know
up on
if
an hour. So
you burned through that, and I don't think we're doing it justice, to be honest, because like you could talk the whole podcast about knives because people get so hung up on that. MKC's got some really cool knives. I've got a couple of theirs that I really like. They're they'd be great for getting the hip bone off on an elk and stuff, but I don't want to carry them. They're heavy. And when you're packing all day with a pack, you can't wear that knife on your belt. They make different stuff. You can put it on your pack, but I'm always going to break crap. I've already lost this knife once, relocated it, got some help from MKC on that. But honestly, like I carry an outdoor edge replaceable blade knife, and that's what I do my elk.
I
Their
always have one
blades
too.
suck. Their blades they work fine, but they go dull very quickly. So I carry like 4 or 5 blades will get me through an elk, but it is very easy. You don't have to resharpen. If you're cool with resharpening with the stone, have a small packable diamond stone for resharpening. This is one of the easiest and lightest ways to do it. And like for me, I'll carry that, and I usually have some kind of fixed blade knife, whether it be a Montana knife. They got some light options, but iron will. I've got 2 really small iron wheels that are deadly sharp and can be resharpened really easy. And, I can do an elk with those too.
So we're at an hour. We can dive deeper into this. We can split this into 2 parts. What do you think we should do? Yeah, I thought we would be able to go through it. Well, maybe I was naive for that because it takes so much to go out there, and there's a lot you can talk about. What do you think? We should split this into 2 parts?
Yeah, I mean, it may not hurt. I mean, because I could run through like you said, but there's just every item that you list, we could talk about some of the different options and
Is there
what you're
anything
using.
on your list that I haven't listed yet? So we should have a lot of the same
No, pretty much, but I mean, you said like you said lighter, and probably need lighter. Probably didn't need. I carry different options. I will carry a cheap Bic lighter, but I also have waterproof matches. I usually have a striker somewhere, whether it be on
I
me
did
or
too.
on the horse, and some fire starter. I mean,
Yeah, like sometimes I
we
don't go
got we
like
got
into
through.
complete detail because I've got fire starter, which is like that kind of waxy stuff. I also have matches that have some other stuff, and like I carry those too. I have a snake bite kit. I don't know why. It's just kind of the same size, and I have a lighter. I got like 2 in my pack, 1 on my saddle, 1 back at camp. Like there's all kinds of lighters, but I think
Yeah,
so.
there is definitely a ton that we could go through, like, game bags. I got some born and raised that zip out that I'm going to try this year. The big one with game bags, I've mentioned this before, is I think you need at least 6 bags when you're going to quarter an animal, especially debone. You could probably get away with less, but you want to break that meat up, and not have it all just in one giant ball in one bag when you're hanging it. So,
Yeah,
and I'm trying some new lights. Honestly, cheap way to do it, go buy some Energizer lights that are 350 to 500 lumens. They take 3 AAAs. They work great. Always have at least one set of three AAA batteries with you, so you don't want to walk out in the dark, especially if you're in thick stuff. But I'm trying out a last light rechargeable headlight, and I like it really well so far.
have you heard of the Peaks?
Yeah, I've got
Which
some Peace
it's
gear. I don't have their light
yeah, that's say that's a pretty nice light, and it's got
because that's something we haven't mentioned is I've started using their sticks.
really.
Yep, and I love it. It was amazing with packing out, even if you only use one. I've got their real
That's what I've
lightweight.
heard.
They got some called sissy sticks. I didn't buy that. I didn't want to buy the sissy sticks. Speaking of that, in which, it's alleged, but Meat Eater just dropped an article about that stealthy hunter guy today. I just got it sent to me. I think maybe it's been some notice, but that dude's he's not been found guilty, but they've put some charges out against him in Idaho on wild game violations. And I really looked up to that guy a little bit, liked his stuff. I just
I
read it
don't
this afternoon.
I don't know who he is. I hate to say it. I don't follow a lot of the outdoors like I probably should more, but I don't, man.
It
I know
happens
kind of
all
the
the
big
time,
names.
man. I was just telling my dad after I read that, that guy didn't seem like he cared at all about the industry as far as he was a stone cold killer, killed big stuff. He was with Gritty. He was like Gritty's secondhand guy now. And his wife is real
That's
big.
gonna
They've
make
got
Gritty look bad too, isn't it?
he was involved with mountain ops and go hunt. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't know. He's not been proven guilty, but it's charges mule deer. In 1 week last year, he killed a mule deer, mountain lion, and a bear. And sounds like maybe he was in the wrong area. I don't know. I I hate I mean, it's out there, so I don't think it hurts talking about it. It ain't like we know the guy or anything, but it
yeah.
just sucks because so many times I've looked up to somebody, watched their hunting videos back in the day. I remember a guy that was all about his videos. He was a killer, hunted Indiana and Illinois, and he used his Indiana tag on an Illinois deer. All these guys start getting paid and stuff, and you think you got to produce, you know, Brackett, I think was the other one that shot the 2 deer in Indiana. I mean, you could list them on and on, and it's just
I hate it,
so
man.
hard. It is.
Takes the fun out of it.
Just don't do it. Hunt on your own place. Use the proper tag. It's pretty
Yep.
simple, really.
It really is. Yeah.
We all enjoy it. You're not no matter how hard you try, you're not going to be the guy that kills the biggest animals, because when it comes down to it, it's who's got more money in their pocket to kill the big stuff.
Really. And more
It
time.
really is. You get 1 or 2 a year that's killing, average Joe comes across something,
Yeah. Let me go ahead and finish out my list. We're this far in. So next thing I've got is toiletries. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with this. It's kind of each to your own. I say I run unscented stuff, but this year, like elk hunting doesn't matter. I don't think. I've got I like Dr. Squatch, and I just went with pine tar. It's kind of a natural scent, and it's not like you get a bunch of showers back there anyways. I will say for how if you're in the backcountry, you don't get a shower. So you want to wipe yourself down. And there's these, gosh, I forget the freaking name of them. They come in their own little pack. And it's like this big wipe for your whole body. And they'll have different scents and everything, but they're real handy and I really like them.
that is one of the best things, is you want to have some kind of cleaning wet wipe so you can. There's a lot of different names for it. I don't know the proper name for the bath.
Well, Dude Wipe makes one. Like I have Dude Wipes that are face and body, but this is essentially like its own packed Dude Wipe that has like natural scents in it. Because like I said, it doesn't freaking matter. Like I'd rather smell a little bit than smell me stinking.
Yeah,
But
you
in
gotta get the wind wind
Utah,
right.
you don't really have that situation in Utah because it's not getting that hot. Unscented chapstick is a big one. I run like Burt's Bees or something natural, but my lips get real chapped out west. I don't know. You live out there, so maybe you're used to it, but do your lips get chapped? Okay.
I just get wrinkles and all that crap. I don't use sissy sticks.
If not, man, I'll have a
I
bloody
know.
lip. I swear. I
I
don't
I've
live out there like you.
I just never have used it. I think people, once you start using that stuff, you got to use it all the time. I mean,
Well, I don't.
a lot of the guys have to use it. It's definitely dry as can be, so you will
I
deal with
do
that. I
not
know I've had guys that
touch it.
come out and you got bloody nose and can't get it stopped just from being out there at that elevation. So
Yeah.
it's definitely different. And I mean, being at elevation, how high are you in Utah?
12.
Yeah, so I mean, that's something you may need to spend a day or 2 at elevation before you can hike around very much, because you'll get headaches and get sick and everything.
Maybe not
Not
quite to
everybody's
12.
affected the
Maybe
same, but
11 and a half.
definitely can.
I don't run chapstick back home, but out there it
Really.
gets me. Yeah, I never use it. I'm same, but out there I need a sissy stick, I guess.
I'm just messing with you.
No, I'm just teasing. Splinter out. I do bring a splinter out. If you get a splinter, I don't know. That's just me. I have a splinter just in
Like,
case. There's these little
what is
things. They're
that? Is
called.
it like tweezers or what?
No, it's just called like a little splinter out. It's like this little pokey thing that you can dig. It's better. It's like a lot sharper than a knife and like real thin. So I bring a splinter out, fingernail clippers, just in case like you're having problems with your big toe or something with boots. Just trying to help people out. I usually have like allergy medication, vitamins, Flonase,
You
this or
de-
that.
you definitely, even in your pack, you should have, even if it's small, you need to have some kind of first aid kit with you. Hunting, we've all had close calls hunting. I got a real bad cut while skinning an elk last year,
Yeah,
and I mean profusely bleeding from my hand onto the ground, like thinking it was the elk blood trail that I was looking at, and it's mine. And one of the
yeah.
big ones being an electrician is I would tell you to have a partial roll of black tape with you at any time, because that can really take care of a lot of cuts until you get back to a first aid kit.
So yeah, I've got both those on this list. I got the
Tourniquet.
first aid kit that has a tourniquet. I carry that with me at all times. And then I do have black tape with me at all times. I also have some moleskin with me
Yeah.
too, that's more blister related.
Yeah. The first aid kit I carry, I basically bought all the individual stuff and made a kit last year that I could vacuum seal. So it's pretty
That's smart.
light. It's got some band-aids, the band-aid that's like a stitch, drawing a blank on that name. Yeah, butterfly band-aid, some gauze, some Neosporin, and some ibuprofen or Tylenol probably with me at most times. And usually have a real big kit at the truck or at the horse or something like that, just
Yeah.
in case somebody gets a bad. It's usually knife cuts from cleaning animals. The other thing with the cleaning animals that I've got on it is I usually like build a little kill kit. That's a term that Snyder always used, but I have a bag that has my knives, my blades. The other thing I've got to using since last year. There you go.
I
That's a
did
nice.
mine orange
That's a
because
nice
this
bag
is
for it.
from marsupial. Same thing. It's got knives. Also, while you're on that, not to cut you off, learned this from Dad. We bring a set of leather gloves. I know it's a little bit heavy, but for skinning, they give you grip and they give you a little bit of protection in case you slip up from your knife. So we
Yes,
butcher in leather gloves.
my dad has tried to get me to carry because he uses the leather gloves to ride in, and he's always got them in his pack for butchering.
And you can leave them. They're biodegradable. It's leather. It's natural to me. You leave them in the carcass right there. I think, right? So that's what we do. Or we
Yeah,
put them in the game bag or
and I mean
something.
you can wash them too, and reuse those. They'll shrink a little bit, but you can wear them back in. I started carrying like one cut resistance glove is what if like from your job working, you can get a pretty lightweight cut resistant glove that a knife is not going to just slice through. And I'll just take one for like me, I'm right hand dominant. So my cutting's occurring with my right hand. I put it in my left hand because that's where I always get
That's
cut
smart.
is my left hand, you know?
Like a fish glove too. Like a lot of times they
Yeah.
have those.
Those are, I mean, just any kind of gloves. Cause I didn't used to care about blood and stuff. And then when I had my heart surgery last year, they started telling me that I had some kind of disease from an animal. So I'm trying to be a little more cautious. I don't really think that's what occurred, but whatever.
Yeah. I I don't know. And then I guess toasters, I bring toothbrush, toothpaste back there. I like to be able to brush my teeth.
And one other thing I got for when you're cleaning an animal is it's really nice to have some kind of lightweight tarp to lay the meat down on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things you can do. I've took the hide off, put the hide down, put the meat on it. I've used the emergency blankets that you can buy for like 50 cents at Walmart. They don't like to stay in place. I got a hold of a tarp I'm going to be trying out this year that's made by Caribou Gear, and it's for this purpose. And you could use it as a quick fly shelter. It's got cords on the
That's
outside
smart.
so you could tie it and use your like like my Peaks walking sticks, you could use that and set up a little shelter. And they got a bigger one that's called the Hunter's tarp, and it's more like 8x8. The one that I got to carry in the backpack is a lot smaller. It's like 4x4 and
Something
lighter.
a little bit cheaper, and I got this from Schneider, is, those big orange
Tyvek.
trash bags that you see, like, convicts using on the side of the road? You can use that to put your meat on. You can also use it as, like, because it's orange, you could wave down ever an emergency, and then they are waterproof, so you could put it on you to keep you warm. You can cut it, you could kinda make a shelter like, the tarp's probably a little bit probably a little more versatile, like you were saying, but it's probably a little heavier. Trash bag's pretty light, but just a cheap, light option is just an orange trash, like 55-gallon trash bag. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we got through most of it. I mean, I could go on. I got this last light stuff that I'm trying. I don't know. I'm guessing you have to take some kind of power bank, solar power bank back with you to recharge stuff, or you just going
Yeah, I've
until it
actually
dies.
got one right here.
How heavy
I
is
got
it?
this, probably a pound.
Yeah.
I got to
I
be
got
able
the
to take it
one
back there.
I got it was like a kit that I bought from Last Light at that Mile High deal that I went to in Denver. They had all the different dealers, and their power bank's pretty heavy, but it's got a solar charge, and I think you can charge your phone like 4 or 5 times if you have it on a full charge, but it takes a
I think
good day to get much of charge on it from solar.
this one's pretty good. It's lasting. It'll work, so
What
I'm rolling
brand
with
is it?
it. Dude, I got it off Amazon. I can't even freaking tell you.
Yeah,
It was it's worked. Like
and
I got one off of there and it like blew up and sucked. But
so
this
the other
one's
thing I got
proven
was
itself.
that I'm kinda interested to try it out, but I do have to carry that power bank with me, is I got that Last Light, the string of lights, like their LED lights. You've probably seen some pictures out there on social media. So you can string up those lights around like your elk and if you're cleaning in the dark and really light up the whole area. But
Okay.
I would probably tell you that to get on Amazon, look up like LED string of lights. My cousin's got the exact same thing and he paid way less than I did because he didn't buy a
Okay.
name brand one, and it seems to work pretty good.
One thing that I'll mention about Spike Camp is I did buy a chair that breaks down like real small. It's real lightweight, and I added that this year because we used to just take like those cheap Real King chairs back there. Because I mean, we have the mules, but trying to get light and a little more efficient every year at least, and got a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
it's
this year.
it's definitely a game changer to have a chair back there when you're camping packed in.
I got one last tab here. We're already over an hour. Let's just go and finish it if you don't mind. So I've got like truck and trailer. Oh, we like for the truck, we have the Chevy Duramax. We have a 3-horse trailer we take, and then we got phone chargers, rugs for trailer. So after we take the mules out the back of the trailer, we shovel it all out. And usually it's not too bad because there's wood chips back there. And then we put down industrial style rugs so we can move all our stuff to the back, like totes and everything. That's why we use totes. And that way the living quarters is open and free.
And when we've had a lot of people, we also threw up cots and slept back there in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. And then chairs for base camp, spare tire, impact wrench, just general lights, your generator, like a portable grill, making sure you have plenty of LP to cook. That's a good way to heat stuff up. Your utensils, a coffee pot. Make sure you have a little oil for the generator, a table to set up outside. It's good to cook off of. The diesels now, they take the DEF fluid, making sure you have like a little tool bag. We always have medicine for the truck, like ibuprofen, this or that, in case somebody has back spasms. You get take some snacks for the truck, pillow for the truck so you can sleep. Me and Dad, we rotate sleeping and driving, and then that's kind of it, man. I'm probably missing some stuff, but I try to put everything I can on there, or at least like the gist of it. And I know the details of it myself, but that's my list. I guess if anybody's interested, I can even share it with you because we went through it fast. Is there anything you want to add real quick? I mean, we're already past an hour. Something, hey, this is important.
I think I've got in pretty much most of what I would say. I think I mentioned the microwave. If you're at camp and got a generator, there's no reason not to have a little microwave with you. And it's real easy to heat up water. You don't have to use your
Yeah.
stove. You can heat up meals, like, if you do like I'm doing, I like having the microwave with me so that it's real easy for me to eat dinner at night and not be a big deal. I've usually got a four-wheeler with me even if I take my animals. The area I got, it's got a lot of roads, so I can get into some different stuff if there's some places I can't get a horse trailer close to, and you'd have to ride, 5 miles just to even get started, so I may go in there on a four-wheeler and walk in 3 miles from that side of the area. Um, Obviously, bringing spare gas cans and all that stuff. You with the animals are gonna have, ropes for putting them out.
I didn't even go through all that stuff because that's
Yeah.
kind of based more towards me. I have a whole section for mules
Yeah.
and everything with that. So I just,
That's it's pretty your list is very impressive. It's very thorough and definitely well organized because 'cause I'm rattling off of just you talking and kinda knowing what I got, but I'm not the most organized person. I take a lot of stuff with me when I go.
yeah, it helps me to remember stuff and then I can go back in. And if something didn't work, I can, put Y or eliminate it or add to like, to say my weapon system or like clothes is a big one. Hey, it really would have helped if I'd have had a zip off base layer. That's what I was saying last year. So the base layer, the zip off base layer is new for me this year. I've always had one, but you got to take your freaking pants off and boots. The zip off makes it really, really convenient.
And a big thing too, like, say you were traveling with a couple more guys, which you've done a whole bunch, like, you guys sit down and have this same conversation before you go because, like, 3 of you being back there, you may want a spare stove or something like that with you, but you don't need to each take every
Yeah.
single one of these items in. You guys can share you could share those just different tools and equipment. Uh, Everybody needs certain things, but just something like a stove or whatever, you guys could have one instead of having a whole multiple of the same item.
Right on, man. Well, hopefully you guys got something out of this. I can share the list. If you have any questions on anything, we've tried a lot of gear, so we can review uh, a certain section of this or a piece of gear. I'm going to get some of this stuff's new for me. I'm going to get more experience this year. Danny's got a ton. So reach out to us. And then we're going to have podcasts rolling even when I'm gone and out west. So you're still going to get every Tuesday a podcast. Appreciate you guys listening. Check out the website. Shoot us a DM if anything you guys want covered. Danny, you got anything?
No, just it's it's going on, man. We're all starting to hunt, starting to see animal pictures, which was one of my favorite things, and got to talk to Jimmy on the phone and hear about his elk. And just I talked to your dad today. Just I know you guys are excited and ready to go, and I hope you guys the best of luck. And I told your dad to make sure he shoots a bigger bull than you this year, so
I want
all
him to. I
excited.
do.
I told him to get in front of you and make sure he shoots the bull. So
Even if he's in front of me, I still maybe shoot farther.
I
But
know. That's what he pretty
but
much said.
But no, we'll have a good time, Lord willing. And this will drop, and then our next podcast be early whitetail. I am going to try to get a whitetail hunt in before we leave, so we'll save that for the next podcast. But appreciate everybody listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Good luck. Shoot straight.
Yes, sir.